For me, Choose to Challenge is about being mindful. It's about recognizing the moments where we have an opportunity to challenge bias for women in the workplace and using my influence to take action. So sometimes that challenge might even be on myself. For example, I remember recently I was sending out a meeting invite for a few of my colleagues on a team, and I excluded one of my colleagues who was on maternity leave. I just didn't think in that moment to include them and think about where they were coming from. So all the small and big opportunities that we have to be mindful, stop, take action and be as inclusive as we possibly can. That for me is what Choosing to Challenge is all about. I think I've definitely faced a lot of challenges throughout my career as a woman, whether it's seeing many of my male peers being paid more than me for the same job, whether it's being the only woman on the business trip, the youngest or only woman at the management table. You know, you definitely see, it's quite common, I think, or has been common in my career to see the invites to my male colleagues going from the management team to go around to their house for a barbecue or whatever. So I've had these experiences, I think, that have shaped me and my mindset, and I've seen them as challenges, certainly challenges to be overcome. But I think also as I've matured, as the conversation around bias has opened up so much more over the years, and as I've learned as a person, I've started to realise I also have a lot of privilege as a woman in my career. I'm a white woman, I'm an able-bodied woman, I'm a woman who doesn't have children yet, and so I recognise, or I'm certainly starting to recognise, that privilege that I have and the power that's in that. So I equally think I have an opportunity to use that influence and that privilege that I have to support my colleagues or other women in their careers to overcome the challenges that they're facing. I think there's always going to be stereotypes too. There's always stereotypes in every walk of life. Certainly I've seen stereotypes in my career in HR. I remember when I started in my HR career about 17 years ago, we had a team of 65, and I can recall there being 2 men in that team, a predominantly white team as well. And things are changing, I'm thankful to say. I think we've got a long way to go. Stereotypes are there to be washed away, and I think it's also up to all of us to put ourselves into experiences, roles, environments that are going to help us individually overcome our biases with those stereotypes, and hopefully eventually that will impact the collective thinking as well about those stereotypes. It's so important for me to see women lifting each other up. I think there's often been this kind of societal narrative that's getting better, but I think we've got a long way to go, that creates this kind of competition between women in the workplace. I've certainly seen it, I've been a part of it, and I think the solution to that is really women being advocates for each other, women supporting each other, promoting their value, promoting the work that they do. And I think that's a huge part of Choose to Challenge and how we're going to get better, know better and do better when it comes to fighting bias against women in the workplace. When I think about young women entering their careers, I think about myself, and I think about the young woman that I was in my teens and into my 20s, And if I could have a chat with her, I think I'd probably say, first off, focus on your own self-belief. You are so talented. Your uniqueness brings so much to the table. Your voice is valid, your talents are valid, and you have so much value to give. I also believe the saying that we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So I'd really love to say to that young woman, look for the influence that you need. Look for the inspiration that you need. Find the women in your life who are doing the things that you want to do. Find the female mentors, find the role models, and spend time with them, learn from them. Use that influence in your life. And if you can't find those women, just become that woman.